What do you know about loneliness? Are you afraid of it? Or on the contrary, do you desire it? If the second statement is true, then think again, because desires tend to come true. Right now, incredibly far from Earth, there is an object that left our planet in 1977 and now knows everything about loneliness. And this. At the moment, the probe is the most distant man-made object. No one has ever ventured into such a cosmic wilderness, but by the standards of the universe, Voyager 1 seems as if it has just left its home doorstep. After all, the incredible distances it still has to travel are nothing compared to the mere 47 years of its flight. What would we see if the probe's cameras were turned on? What monstrous secrets could we uncover? To begin with, let's remember how it all started. The probe was not named by accident. Its name means wanderer. Eternal wandering through the dead corners of space is the unenviable fate of this device. Initially, the mission of the automatic space probe was to study Jupiter and Saturn, and indeed it was Voyager 1 that first took sufficiently detailed images of these celestial bodies and their moons. Later, due to the equipment's excellent performance on the probe, the mission was expanded. Thus, Voyager 1 went further. Gradually, it passed Neptune's orbit, which is 30 astronomical units from the Sun. The probe rushed into the darkness of the unknown toward the Kuiper Belt and the edge of the heliosphere, which it successfully crossed in the summer of 2012. In any case, this is confirmed by the data from the instruments. You might be surprised, but even at such an incredible speed, it took the probe 35 years to reach the conditional boundary of the solar system. Right now, Voyager 1 is in an environment with an electron density expected from interstellar space. Thanks to this, we can hear the eerie hum emitted by this alien world. Of course, the probe delivered this information in a narrow frequency band, but scientists transformed the signal into a human audible range, so we could hear just how monotonous and menacing deep space sounds. What explains longevity? What source continues to sustain it? The probe's power supply is provided by 3 radioisotope thermoelectric generators, which operate based on the decay of plutonium-238. The half-life of this radioactive element is about 90 years. At the moment, the generator's power is about 70% of the original. Therefore, for a while, one will keep sending signals to Earth, but they will arrive less often due to the vast distances. Even now, a message from the probe reaches us after about a day. What do the messages from the automated station look like? It's still the same computer code consisting of zeros and ones compiled in different sequences. But in November 2023, an unknown malfunction occurred in the device's operation. One began sending chaotic clusters of encoded information, after which rumors started spreading that the probe had been taken over by aliens. Scientists were unable to decipher this gibberish, so they attempted a remote repair of the device and succeeded. Fortunately, only one of the 3 onboard computers failed. It was the one sending the looped binary code to Earth. The problem was also that it took 45 hours to receive a message from the probe and send a response. That's why the first successes in bringing the Chuvstva system of devices online only appeared 4 months later, in March 2023. Here's another proof for you that if a probe really wants to live, science is powerless. What caused the malfunction? Maybe there's still some alien trace in this breakdown. National Aeronautics and Space Administration's information technology specialists found out that yes, there actually is, but not in the way conspiracy theorists thought. The thing is, one of the computers was damaged by an energetically charged cosmic particle, which caused it to stop functioning properly. There's another version. The equipment just wore out over the years, and that's why the malfunction happened. In the end, the scientists at the space agency solved the problem by rebooting the code, first splitting it into parts, since the memory capacity of the long-suffering probe's chips is too small for a full-scale data transfer. Basically, the specialists hacked System 1 and reflashed it. You have to admit, after this incident, the phrase "through hardships to the stars" started to sound much more meaningful. Where is System 1 now? And what would we see if we had the chance to turn on the spacecraft's cameras? At the end of January 2025, the probe was at a distance of almost 25 billion kilometers, or 166 astronomical units, from our parent star. Its current speed is very high and amounts to 61.2 thousand kilometers per hour. In this regard, humanity is interested in what awaits one in the future. In the future, the spacecraft will pass through the Oort cloud, an incredibly large spherical region located on the outskirts of the solar system. Long-period comets are believed to reside in the Oort cloud. Overall, the existence of this mysterious place has not been confirmed instrumentally and remains in the realm of hypothetical assumptions. However, indirect evidence suggests that this enormous cloud is real. One had already passed through several spherical belts, the first of which was located between Mars and Jupiter. The mass of the asteroids in this belt is about 4% of the weight of the Moon, but that's nothing compared to the Kuiper belt, which is 200 times more massive than the first and 20 times wider. It's a pity that Camera 1 has long been turned off to save energy. Otherwise, in 2004, when the probe began searching for Kuiper, we would have seen dwarf planets like Makemake and Haumea with our own eyes, and not just as small bright dots, but up close. By the way, speaking of photos and bright dots, the most famous photo is called the pale blue dot. This photo was taken in 1990, and it shows the Earth from a distance of 6 billion kilometers. Are you still sure you know everything about loneliness? At the same time, a mosaic of 60 images was received from the spacecraft, touchingly called the family portrait. The photo shows the Sun and several planets: Jupiter, Earth, Venus, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Mars, and Mercury. Due to their tiny size from a distance of 6 billion kilometers, they are indistinguishable at this scale. So, ahead on the path, the twin spacecraft too will also cross this monstrous sphere. Only in another place is the Oort cloud located. It is considered an object of the solar system, though it is at the most distant gravitational boundaries, further beyond the outer sphere of the Oort cloud. Our star has no influence on the surrounding objects. Its power is not enough for that. How much time would it take for someone to fly through the Oort cloud? At least 30 millennia. Just think about that unbelievable number. To reach just the inner edge of the Oort cloud, moving at a speed of 17 kilometers per second, it would currently take 3 centuries. After that, it becomes completely clear that humanity can't dream of interstellar travel anytime soon. However, what does this information give us besides an excited imagination? After all, we don't know what could happen to the spacecraft in such a dangerous place. The fact is, the Oort cloud is considered the source of comets that sometimes collide with our planet. Some astrophysicists believe that such catastrophic events are directly related to the periodicity of mass extinctions of Earth's ecosystems. But that's not all that scientists know about the Oort cloud, or at least try to guess. What amazing objects might be located on its inner edge? First of all, there might be a gas giant called Tyche orbiting there, named after the Greek goddess of fortune in 2016. Konstantin Batygin and Michael Brown, astronomers from the California Institute of Technology, used computer simulations based on the movement of small celestial bodies beyond Pluto's orbit to confirm the validity of the hypothesis about Tyche's existence. Will anyone ever see this celestial body and confirm this assumption 100%? And what about the star nemesis, the hypothetical star orbiting the Sun at a distance of 100,000 astronomical units? What if it is also a real object and not just a product of astronomers' imagination? The star nemesis is also often associated with the regular periods of mass extinctions of biological species on our planet. Astrobiologists believe that such events occur approximately every 26 million years, and this star is to blame for it. But how exactly? Followers of the hypothesis claim that when Nemesis approaches the Sun, it disturbs the orbits of comets in the Oort cloud, which then enter the inner solar system, and some of them eventually collide with Earth. It's no wonder why Nemesis is sometimes called the Death Star. But the Oort cloud isn't the limit of travel ambitions. Of course not. If the probe manages to escape this dangerous, completely unexplored region, then it will face a very long journey toward the constellation Camelopardalis. It will take tens of thousands of years to reach Gliese 445, which is located in that constellation. If the probe does reach this destination, it will still pass by it at quite a distance, 1.6 light years away. And still, if the cameras were pointed at the star Gliese through the lenses of Voyager 1, it would look like this. Moreover, it is assumed that there may be planets in the habitable zone of the star where life exists. Scientists make such assumptions despite the fact that Gliese 445 emits X-rays. After that, the spacecraft will head to the constellation Ophiuchus, and in the future, most likely, the probe will be doomed to wander forever through the Milky Way. One thing is certain, no gravity will lure Voyager 1 back into the near solar space. It will never return to Earth. It's interesting to wonder what else, besides the star Gliese 445, the wandering spacecraft might see in the constellation Camelopardalis. Are there any unusual objects there that could be studied? Gliese 445 belongs to the main sequence and is a red dwarf, but it's not the only object in this constellation. There are also blue supergiants, binary stars, and even spiral galaxies there. For example, number 2403. Among the unusual objects, the Campbell Cascade is worth mentioning. It's an asterism in the form of a long chain of 20 stars, which can be observed with very powerful binoculars. Just imagine some of this you might have a chance to see with your own cameras. Anyway, the farther the twin spacecraft travel, the more valuable the information they send back to Earth becomes. After all, no one living on our planet has ever been to these locations before. Even if we can't see what's surrounding Voyager 1 right now, scientists can still use the decoded data to get an idea of the conditions in these distant, unexplored places. In short, the global community and all of us can only keep a close eye on the spacecraft's journey and pay attention to what it periodically sends back. If you want to share your vision of Voyager 1's further journey, especially regarding possible difficulties and obstacles it might encounter along the way, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Well, Earthlings, this isn't the end of the video. We still have some very interesting and truly spectacular episodes ahead of us. But for me to keep delighting you with all the characters of the cosmic expanses, I need your feedback. You can express it quite simply. You just need to give an electronic like under this video, since we simply don't have any other kinds of likes, and continue the phrase, I know. That way, you'll let me know that we're moving in the right direction. Don't switch channels.